Hello to all of you dear friends. I hope you are all well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to channel, Freedom in Humanity. This video is the fourth part of the theme of remembering God. Please stay with us until the end of this video. I thank you all. Effects of neglecting the remembrance of God. Usually in our hard and painful life, we neglect our God. God says in his fifth book, the Quran, "Whoever stays away from me, life will be hard for him, and after death, I will be sad for him." He who does not pay attention to God, no matter how much he strives for material and physical pleasures and benefits, according to the nature of his God-seeker who always calls him to perfection, the obtained pleasures do not water him. Calm and not placed. He is either always longing for what he does not have, or he is afraid of losing what he has gained. So he never sees peace and security. Such a person quickly becomes sad and worried when faced with problems, sorrows and failures, and finds life difficult and painful for him. But he who knows God as his only refuge and knows that God has strict control over his life and that the government over the whole world belongs to him, will not be deceived by the fleeting pleasures of the world. He knows that what he has is a trust that must be used in the path of his spiritual progress. Therefore, he does not set his goal for the world and achieving its blessings, so that he may feel pain and sorrow over its decline or be worried about the possibility of its decline. God says in his fifth book, the Quran, God revealed peace to the hearts of the believers to increase their faith. The consequence of neglecting the remembrance of God. Tip: the result of neglecting the remembrance of God is to become possessed by demons. God says in his fifth book, the Quran, "Whoever turns away from me, the devils will accompany him." It should be said that the weapon of the devils to mislead and force people to forget the remembrance of God and in general to forget their own good and expediency, is his influence and influence on them through lust. Man's natural interest in the saturation of pleasures opens the way for him to influence the devil, so that he may turn away from God and approach selfishness by neglecting and forgetting what is in his best interest. In the fifth book of God, it is stated that Satan says to God, "I will mislead all your servants except your pure servants." In other words, the existence of any impurity in man provides the ground for the influence of Satan and causes man to neglect the remembrance of God Almighty and his negligence in obeying divine commands to the extent that he may reach a stage where Satan is on him. Overcome and forget God, the end of which is loss and loss. Short story. Someone asked a wise man, "I am sometimes happy and sometimes depressed and I have different moods. What is the reason?" The wise man replied, "God has appointed an angel and a devil for everyone. If he neglects the remembrance of God, Satan will approach him and miss him." God says to all human beings, "Satan wants to sow hatred and enmity between you through wine and gambling, and prevent you from remembering me and worshipping me. Do not you correct yourself?" Golden sentence. Neglecting the remembrance of God will lead to sitting with the devil. Educational works of worship and remembrance. remembrance and strength and peace of soul. Continuation of remembrance strengthens the soul. Everyone's level of comfort is commensurate with their attention to God. Undoubtedly, the peace, stability, and security of body and soul can only be achieved for a person who is closer to God, because man's faith in God gives him hope for God's help. The same feeling that God is man's helper will guarantee the establishment of human security and peace. Hearts of the remembrance of God flow in it, like a great ship in the turbulent sea of life, firm and steadfast, and the heedless hearts tremble like a small, light ship with a breeze. The struggles of life are a constant source of distress and sorrow for human beings. To reach the shore of peace, we must increase our spiritual strength by properly guiding our instincts and creating a balance between spiritual and physical needs and the right attitude to events, purposefulness, and continuity of the remembrance of God. Golden sentence. The remembrance of God gives a person strength of heart and peace of mind. Vitality and freshness mentioned another fruit. Tip. With the remembrance of God, the heart becomes alive and fresh, and the heart dies with the negligence of God. The criterion of real life or pure life is attention to God. When the heart neglects the remembrance of God, it suffers and becomes prone to mental illness. The only cure for these debilitating diseases that have afflicted mankind today with depression, anxiety, and anonymity is to return to spirituality and turn our hearts toward God. Golden sentence. Mentioning God, the cause of vitality and freshness and the cure for mental illness. Motivational and hopeful sentences. Please say these words to yourself. God has made me his successor on earth, so I should not disrespect others on earth and harm animals, plants, and nature, because God created the whole world for me and I have to take care of them. Thank you dear friends for watching this video. Please support me by subscribing, liking, activating notifications for future videos, your comments, and introducing this channel to your friends. Be happy in any case. Freedom in humanity.